We love our leaders. We elevate them and celebrate them, and sometimes we worship them like modern heroes. But leaders are also people we react to with frustration or even anger. That "you can't control me" response to being led by someone we don't respect. So, what happens when everyone wants to lead and no one wants to follow? Well, in this episode of Terrified Nation, we explore the hidden power of followership and why our culture overlooks it, and how rebalancing leading and following could change our politics, our workplaces, even our communities.
If you've ever felt fear, doubt, or despair about the future of our country, you're not alone. Terrified Nation is a podcast for those ready to face hard truths with open hearts. Hosted by Debilyn Molineaux, each episode explores how we can move beyond division and build a society rooted in care, courage, and connection. If this resonates with you, hit follow and leave a review on your favorite podcast platform. Now here's your host, Debilyn Molineaux.
Welcome back to Terrified Nation. I'm your host, Debilyn Molineaux. And this season, we're exploring the big emotions of fear, anger, and despair, and how we can move through them without getting stuck. And today, I want to talk about something that shows up in our workplaces, our politics, and even our personal lives. It's leadership, or more specifically, the glut of leadership. We love our leaders. We elevate them and celebrate them and tell stories about them like modern myths. Leadership is seen as the pinnacle of success. Everyone, or almost everyone, wants to be a leader. But here's the question. What happens when everyone wants to be a leader and no one wants to follow? Well, leadership is vital, but so is followership. And we have lost sight of just how important it is to follow well, with dignity and discernment and shared responsibility. We tend to treat following as something that's passive, as less than, but that's not true. In fact, sometimes following is the bravest choice. The first follower. So there's this short YouTube clip from more than 10 years ago. Maybe you've seen it. It's this shirtless guy dancing wildly at a music festival. And everyone is staring at him, and some are even laughing, until one man gets up and dances with him. The first follower changed everything. Suddenly, it wasn't one lone weirdo anymore. It was a movement. Dozens of people joined within a few minutes, and it turned into this more joyful place. The leader got the spotlight, but the first follower is what made it possible. And that's the power of followership. It's risky, but it validates the leader, and it creates safety for others to join. There are many faces of followership because not all followers are the same. Leadership scholar Robert Kelly, and then later writers at allsides.com, identified these different types of followers. There are exemplary followers who are proactive and thoughtful. There are conformists who support the leaders but don't challenge them. There are passive followers who are waiting for direction to go take action. There are pragmatists who go with the flow, being part of the community. And there are also alienated followers who think critically but have checked out, often from frustration. So every type has a role depending on the situation. So if a leader is taking us in one direction, the followers will organize themselves to help the leader succeed. And great teams recognize that. Followers aren't just along for the ride. They help steer, navigate, and sometimes hit the brakes. So here's the problem. Our culture has oversaturated the value of leadership itself. From grade school classrooms to corporate boardrooms, we're told that the only way to matter as a person is to lead. And so we've created this leadership glut of too many people competing for the spotlight, too many egos clashing, and too few people listening. So here's the other side of it. Leaders are people that we react to. And sometimes it's with admiration, sure, but often it's with frustration or even anger. That "you can't control me" response bubbles up when we're being led by someone we don't respect, or when leadership feels more about ego than service. So think about it. What happens when an army is full of generals, but no soldiers? Or when a park is designed only by landscape architects, but no one actually plants the trees and the bushes? Movements collapse, teams stall, and no one is left to hold the leaders accountable if we're all trying to lead. So historically, leadership has made sense in certain eras, like after World War II, when soldiers came home and became community leaders and building stability in institutions. Later, social movements extended who could lead, and rightly so. But we've never updated the story. We still romanticize the lone hero. Think about the number of movie blockbusters where it is the righteous rebel who is the morally correct person. We have created this myth around the lone wolf leader. And yet when the hero fails, we are left disappointed, burned out, and more mistrustful. Sound familiar? I think we need to move towards facilitative leadership. We need something different, not the heroic leaders at the top, but facilitative leaders who are skilled at building trust and elevating others and creating the stage instead of stealing the show. It is slower, it is messier, it is less glamorous, and yet it works better for the community because it creates lasting, healthy relationships where we all have a role to play and we're all respected. It requires good followers also, people who are willing to invest their time and their treasure and their talent to question and to support, and most importantly, to co-create. So here is my invitation to you. Instead of asking, who will be our next heroic leader? Let's ask, what kind of team do we need? And more personally, where do you want to lead? Where are you passionate about leading? And where are you willing to follow? Because real power doesn't come from everyone trying to be the loudest voice. It comes from learning to listen and to support and to co-create, which means you have to make space for others to have their ideas heard too. That's how we build something worth following. And so let's start right here with this request. Please become a subscriber of Terrified Nation. And of course, join me next time.
That's Terrified Nation, a podcast from American Future. If this episode moved you, please help others find it. Leave a review on your favorite podcast platform. For early access to new episodes, become a paid subscriber at terrifiednation.com. Join us next time.